So guys, welcome to another adventure, Paul's Asian Adventure. Pa, but not Grandpa. Hey, today we are actually in Bangkok, Thailand. So we are traveling again. We are at a coffee shop not far from where we're staying. It's quiet in this coffee shop, so I can't talk out too loud. Hey, today I wanted to cover basically, we have been 1 year, almost exactly
I've
1
lived
year
there my whole
since we came back from Saudi in the Philippines. And we wanted to talk about how we feel about it and what our future plans are. Okay, so I'm going to start off. We came back in June of 2024. And since then, we have done a bit of traveling, about 45 days in Spain. What was it 3-4 weeks in Malaysia? And now we're here in, oh yeah, and we had a month in Bangkok, Thailand also, but that we didn't really do much traveling. I had a procedure I had to have done, so I was mostly in bed. And then we are back now because we want to actually explore Thailand as a possibility of moving to.
Not the city itself.
Not the city,
Yeah.
not Bangkok, but there's another place in Thailand that we won't talk about now, but we'll talk about in a different video. So, like I said, we came on June 2024. And of course, I've lived here 3 years before that. And my impressions when coming back will start with the things that I loved, the things that I missed, and then we'll go on to the things that I didn't miss that much. Okay, so I'll start off. When I first came to the Philippines, I was a single guy. So I'm looking at this now from a guy who has a significant other person, basically a non-single guy, whether you're married or in a long-term relationship. That's where I'm coming from now. So the first thing I noticed when I came back that, of course, is very positive, I would say, are the Filipino people. Their smiles and easygoing. So, I've traveled all over the world, and I would say there's no people quite like the Filipino people. I mean, Asians in general, they're very welcoming. They're very empathetic, just good people in general. But I've always thought Filipinos are notch over others in their welcomeness and their smiling. I feel like, to be honest, I'm just bluntly honest.
You are honest about everything.
Yeah, some people don't like that. It's changed a bit. It used to be better before. More welcoming, more smiles and stuff. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic that people soured on something, or if it's because there's too much foreigners in New Magedi, or what it is, but it's not like before. So but it's still very good. Don't get me wrong. So the people are fantastic. So the other thing that we really loved about being back, of course, is being a place where it actually rained, because we lived in Saudi, me a year and a half, her a year, and I think it rained 2 or 3 times in that time we were there. So we missed the rain a lot. So we would actually sit outside and just have a cup of coffee while it was raining and just watch the rain come down. We loved that. And of course, the nature, all the green is so green, the water, going swimming, going diving in the corals, all that stuff that we did before. We didn't really videotape all that because, we've done it before, so it would be kind of boring to present it again, right?
Yeah.
But I really miss that, and I really enjoyed being back for that part. Even being back on the motorbike, God, I didn't realize how much I missed driving on a motorbike. Well, not a motorbike, it's a scooter of 160cc. I used to have a motorbike, a Ninja 650, which I don't anymore, but still 2 wheels. It's nice being just feels
Going
like,
on a
yeah,
trip.
it's just freedom driving around and all that. And we really enjoyed that part. So those are really the 2 things I missed. And like driving a motorbike, I didn't even realize I missed it till I started driving again.
But now he missed driving a car.
Now I miss driving a car. So yeah. You always miss what you don't have, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that. What else did we enjoy when we came back?
Uh, well, also like when he was in Saudi or when we were in Saudi, he worked a lot. So he doesn't have any freedom to do anything like going on a night trip. Like we planned to go to Riyadh and have like a night in the desert.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
No.
But
It's not that we didn't plan it, we actually planned it, but on
Yeah.
the way there, I'd get calls from work.
yeah.
So even the weekend, I was working because there's always some type of emergency, some type of stuff I had to fix, something I had to update. There's always something.
Yeah, like
And we were
even
basically
during-
we weren't enough engineers for the work that needed to be done. So we weren't supposed to work on the weekends, but what are you supposed to do? If you say no, I mean, they're just going to lay you off, basically. So I had no choice.
Yeah, even during Ramadan where we went to Riyadh
Yeah.
to enjoy, but he still ended up bringing his laptop to work inside the hotel.
And I actually took days off work,
Yeah.
like vacations.
But still,
They're
that's
still
working.
called for stuff.
So that's one of
And the weird thing
other
is, I
things.
actually miss working. Maybe
He kept
because
saying that he was working.
yeah, and I actually miss Saudi, believe it or not.
I miss Saudi too.
I miss my
all the food and
coworkers. You know, I miss the food. I miss the way people are there,
everything. Yeah, the culture.
the culture, just the buildings. I know it's weird to say, but just the way they're set up and everything.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we both loved Saudi. We really did. Yeah.
and like when we were in Saudi, we did not, especially him, he did not really think about all the negative things in the Philippines. You just missed the Philippines.
I
like-
really did miss the Philippines. Yeah.
And when he came back, it's like, this is not what it used to be. This is not what I think.
No, but things have gotten worse, right? Especially in Dumaguete. So,
Yeah.
like I said, we're actually looking at moving. So, and that's
That's
one of
why
the
we're exploring.
reasons. That's why we're exploring. Because, I mean, just to be honest, Dumaguete is not what it used to be. I know I joke and say it's not like before, but it really isn't. The traffic situation is horrendous. The other things that have improved. There's a lot more restaurants there. They have built out some of the roads. You still have the nice nature. Valencia's still nice, even though it's getting a bit overpopulated there too now.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of foreigners there. A lot of foreigners. And of course, I can't say anything. I'm a foreigner myself, right? So I can't complain about other
I should be
foreigners.
able to say that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Damn those foreigners. They need to go home.
But that actually, like, when we left Juma, when we went for a trip to Bacolod before we came to Bangkok, there's actually less foreigners
Mm.
that we've noticed.
Yeah, that seems to be nice.
And
So, yeah, we're getting a bit off track here, but so the things that we had forgotten, or I had forgotten, me and not so much me, is some of the negatives are like the food in the Philippines is not. It's getting better, but it's nowhere near the quality of Saudi Arabia or Thailand or Malaysia. I mean, nowhere near, right?
yeah.
And so that's one of the things that once I got here, like I give you a funny story. We used to stay at that hotel in Cebu when we landed. We stayed there. What's it called? The one beside Quest Hotel, which is right across from Ayala in Cebu City. And we used to love the breakfast there. I mean, it was for us. It was fantastic, right?
It was the best.
Breakfast buffet. And when we got there, we were so excited to have that breakfast buffet.
Yes.
And then we had the breakfast buffet, and we were both so disappointed. Everything felt so greasy and so sugary. Like, and then I realized it's not that the buffet has changed; it's that we have changed.
Yeah.
You know, the buffet is the same buffet as we had before, but before that's what we were used to.
We didn't notice.
No, we
these
didn't notice. Yeah, but now we did. So for us, it was like, ugh.
things. Yeah.
We didn't have the buffet again. We went somewhere else next morning. I remember
People might say that, you
we
know,
were
just
spoiled or something,
yeah,
but
it's just once you go to a country that offers more
quality.
healthier quality options, of course your perception would change.
Yeah,
And people would call that you're being westernized.
you should put that one there.
Oh, sorry.
Because it's gonna be, mine is closer.
Okay. So people might say that it's, being westernized, but it's not. It's just that you have a different perspective of what you're used to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's just like that. When you get used to higher quality, whatever it is, and you go to a lower quality, you start getting disappointed, right?
yeah.
That's just the way it is. It's just
Yeah,
natural,
that's human nature.
especially when it comes to food. I can live in a one bedroom and have good food
Yeah.
rather than live in a three nice bedroom and all
With
with bad food. That's just me. And that's also something I noticed, by the way. I was thinking about that earlier. That for me personally, after meeting Mia didn't know how to cook when I first met her, but she's become really good and she appreciates food now. And she's become like a food connoisseur kind of thing. She really gets into food, and
Have you
so
noticed this?
I have noticed that my palate for food that is good is much more than before. Like before, I was just happy as long as it was healthy and had the proteins, the carbohydrates, the minerals, and the vitamins. That's all I thought about really. It's
Yeah.
just I didn't really care that much. It was a good meal. I was like, wow, that's a nice meal, and that's it. That didn't really. But now I'm more demanding, if that's the right word. That's one of the reasons we actually came to Thailand. I'm actually going to consider moving here. So so that was one of the negatives. One of the other negatives, especially in Dumaguete, for us was the pollution. I didn't realize how bad it was till I got back, and I'm very health conscious. So it's there's ways around it. Like I bought a mask that I can wear when I'm driving a motorbike with a filter and an electric motor to filter out the particulates. At home, I have a HEPA filter, and so on. There's ways around that. But there are other places, of course, in Philippines. We're just talking about Dumaguete right now, right? Like we went to Bacolod. I felt that the air there was much fresher. The food choices in Bacolod are much better, and the quality of the food in general is much better. Like I had
Steak.
a steak breakfast at a place called Kappa in Bacolod. It was really good. I mean, really good. I mean, wherever that meal had been served, whether it was here or in Saudi or Malaysia, I thought that's really good food. So there are some really good. There's a Bob's Cafe in Bacolod that's really good. So there's a lot of good places in Bacolod, much more than in Duma. And I felt like also in Bacolod, I felt like the traffic flows much better. People follow the rules. It's not that crazy driving. That's another thing. In Duma, there's a lot of crazy driving. So if you're driving a motorbike, just beware. You got to keep your eyes on the road. There's a lot of loose dogs that run around there. So you have to take things
Into consideration.
into consideration. Of course, all these things sound like a lot, but it's only a certain part of the day you're driving, right? So once you get out, if you're going to Darwin, you're going to the sea. Once you drive like 5 minutes past Bakong, the road is better. There's not the traffic and all that. So right now we're just talking about the negatives. There's a lot of positives, like I mentioned in the beginning. So of course the corals, the diving, the beaches. You got the mountains. And of course, it's very nice in Dumaguete because if you're new to the Philippines, there's a lot of foreigners, which can be both negative and positive. Because, of course, as a foreigner, maybe it's easier to
Socialize.
once you with other foreigners. And I have to say something like there are some crazy foreigners in Dumaguete, that's for sure. There's the bottom of the bucket there, but there's some really nice people there as well. And it's easy to get to know people because people seem to want to know you. Like everybody's there to live, and everybody's there to meet other people. So, like anything else you want to say? Of course, I'm not coming from this from a single guy's point of view, but as I don't know, but I do know single people, and Dumaguete also is not a good place for single guys the way I hear it now. If you want to go other places, there's probably a better.
But you can
If you're
go
single.
outside Duma, like
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes outside Duma, going to Bakong area. There's a nice places there. Like you can meet girls.
Yeah. What's that one restaurant? Oceana. We went to a place called Oceana. It was really nice, actually. Good food, and the view is amazing. So there are some good places there too.
Yeah.
But the thing with Dumaguete and that place there is that it is so inconsistent.
Yes.
one day you can go to a restaurant, the food is fantastic, and the next day it's too greasy or
Yeah.
too sweet or too salty or something. You know,
Like they can't find a balance of
they
some-
don't have the same cook or something.
Yeah.
So we saw something strange, so we are both laughing. We should turn the
This is
camera.
just, I mean, this.
You're in Bangkok, darling. You're gonna see
I know.
strange stuff. And so anyway, we are kind of decided we're gonna move, and we boiled it down to 3 places. A place in Thailand. We don't want to.
We don't want to mention it
We
yet.
don't want to mention it yet, but once we get there, you'll see it. Spain,
Yes.
specifically Torrevieja, Spain, where we were. We are considering moving there.
We have friends there.
We have lots of friends there now, and we love the place. We love the weather. We love the food. So everything is perfect there,
Yes.
except for minus the cost of living. It's like 30-40% more.
Too much.
And then there is, of course, the other places, Bacolod in the Philippines. We're considering that too.
There are other places in the Philippines that we have not
Tried
explored,
out, but
but it's just that maybe, I don't know. It's like we keep saying that we should go there, you know, explore, go week. Remember, we planned on going a road trip.
but there's always something that stopped us, right?
Yes, there's a lot of things.
Always something happening, so we can go. But anyway, so those are the 3 places we are considering.
Yes.
And so right now we're actually leaning towards Thailand because of stuff going on in our life that we can't really talk about yet.
Well, we'll talk about it soon.
We'll talk about it soon. It would be like breaking news when we guys tell you, you won't
Yeah.
quite believe it. You think they're making it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Martians are landing or something type of news.
Or aliens, you know?
Aliens. Anyway, so we don't want to say what it is yet. Just we want to wait till everything is in place, and then once everything's in place, because things change, and we don't want to say something and then not follow through, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our story. That's where we are. That's where we are right now, and we are a couple of more days in Bangkok, and then we head to this other place in Thailand by train.
By train.
And that's another thing we like here. They actually have trains.
Yes.
So yeah. So with that, I think we've talked enough, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.